Welcome back, everyone. It's a Tier 9 game on Abby. I'm in my new T-54 Soviet Tier 9 medium tank. And we are going to take her out for a spin. Now, this is not a fully upgraded T-54 yet, although I do have the top gun on the top turret. I'm still working with the stock tracks and the stock engine, so she's a little bit more sluggish than she should be, but not by very much. I get this funny feeling that the final two upgrades, although they'll make for nice improvements in the tank's performance, what I've got here is very much the T-54 is supposed to be. Right now I'm just looking at gun depression and things like that. So yeah, rushing to the west side because I looked at it and said, nah, we're not a heavy tank, shouldn't go down the narrow road. Going in the middle could work, but I've never liked it up there. I always feel like, well, okay, here's time I've ever tried to go in the middle. I've usually eaten a tank destroyer, I've usually eaten a big tank destroyer around to the face. It's discouraging to go that way. So I almost always, regardless of starting point, I come running up this side. I feel like it has the best mobility options. It's got down positions. It's, I think, the most interesting part of the map to fight on, because although it is kind of quartery and linear, it's not as bad as the rest of the map in that particular sense. I'll come up here and worrying a little bit about potential enemies in the center. I see an IS-6 is up there, and ooh, hey, T-54 E1. He ducks away. So I'm taking a few moments here to think, let's see how we want to deal with this. Oh, we come back out. Oof, artillery nearly gets me. Bounce around from him. Stuck on the IS-8. That's alright. Bounce another round for the T-54 E1. Gets away before I can shoot again. But that's okay. Nice strong turret armor did its job. Take a shot at the regular Pershing. Miss. So it's kind of remarkably good for shooting on the move. Fretting for a moment about possible attacks from the flank. Look for a shot on the T-37. It's not there. Alright, got a bunch of Tier 8s here to deal with, right? Let's go get them. Oh, those are Tier 9. Put a shot into one. Back away. Block a whole bunch of whatever. It takes a whole bunch of shots without me taking any damage. Very nice of them to do. Snuggle up here to the wall in case of artillery fire. Take a look at what sort of other people we got here to fight with. And then go out and try to remember some advice I got about this tank. Stay hull down, become a god of war. Try to work down the IS-8. I figure the most dangerous opponents most likely to have a gun that can penetrate my armor. Now the IS-6's gun is a very difficult time penetrating the frontal armor of a T-54. Thank you very much. Look at this gun, it's ferocious. I'm barely having to stop to aim. And it's got a nice small aiming circle. Good for fast snapshots. IS-6 is going to cause some problems though, even though he's well angled. Clearly knows his stuff. Oh. Ow! Well, armor's not quite invincible. He managed to get a shot and tracked me. I'm going to be patient. My tracks will fix in a moment. And I rush forward. Tier 9 comes up, challenge me again, put another shot into him, dodge the return fire. Alright, there's a little tiny spot right there where you can damage the IS-6. But you need a high penetration gun, it's not that weak. Oof. Okay, that didn't go so well. Back up, back up, back up. Despite this, though, I'm willing to try again because, I'm a T-54. I get tracked again, whatever. No big deal. I lose tracks all day and not care. I highly doubt this will work, but I tried anyways just to see if I can make it work. Nope. That's alright. At this point, all my friends have gone back to help a Tiger 1 because he was being rushed by a couple Tier 8s and a Tier 9. So, luckily, looks like they've got the situation under control over there. So really, I'm just sitting here facing off with potentially this IS-6 and IS-8 and the T-54 E1 we haven't seen in a while. Oh, here's the IS-8 again. Oop, only got his tracks. Gotta try and stay hull down here. Oof, he gets one in somehow. It hurts. But we're still putting the abuse in. He's starting to push me now. But I'm hull down. Back away, wiggling turtle. Make it a little harder for him to damage me. Get him. He bounces, and the M12 takes him out. At this point, my team is starting to capture, is on the base. The IS-6 goes running back to try and do something about that, while the rest of their rush on this side peters out, and I go looking for, oh, it's that autoloader. It's been up here this whole time, okay. That was a really dumb shot, but I don't know. At this point, I think I was just on go mode. Come up, put a shot into him. I think he's just finished emptying his clip, but no point being incautious. Go for the shot here. His tracks eat it. T-37 takes him out. Now, it's that IS-6 is all that's left over here. And yeah, I can go back to VKB, but he's got 2 Tier 9s standing up on him. I doubt he's going to last long for me to get there. No way I'll get to the Faraday. So yeah, IS-6 is about the thing left. Think about going down there. Nah, too steep. IS-6 just got nuked in the face by something with a very big gun. These easy one shots. I come down, try to on the move shot, miss him. Bounce off of him. T-37 is also bouncing on, but that's okay. This gun doesn't bounce on IS-6s. So yeah, that's the T-54. Let's take a look at the post-game stats for that one. So here's the post-game stats for that match. As you can see, only good enough for a second-class mastery badge, but with a bunch of those little mini medals and a steel wall, which I was rather pleased to get. You can see from down here, 336 assistance damage. I think that was from tracking someone. Actually, you can see T-31, IS-8, color on each of them, so spotting damage, I guess. And 3,468 actual damage to the other team. Almost entirely to tanks of my own tier. That to both the IS-8s, T-54E1, and that unfortunate IS-6 that got in my way. I must admit, he was doing a lot better than the poor IS-8s were, since he actually had a good spot and was angled very, very well. So moving on to the next screen right here, you can see top damage for the team, 1,103 base experience. Easily much better than most of them. So that Tiger tank that was holding off the Tier 8s and 9s till he got back up, did very, very well for himself with 1,600 damage and 848 XP. On the enemy team, you can see top tank is also a T-54 with 2,849 damage. Very, very strong tank up in here. And now that I've got one, I'm starting to really understand why. Not only does it come with a really nasty gun that tends to penetrate what you shoot at, it also has a remarkable amount of armor for a tank as quick and flexible as it is. It even gets 5 degrees of gun depression, which makes it actually very, very handy tank. Not too hard to keep the gun engaged when you're trying to find hold down positions. So, moving on to the final screen. However, you'll see a little bit more about this. 19 shots fired, 16 hits, considering how rarely I was aiming that gun. That's a remarkable number of hits. 13 penetrations for 3,468 damage. Took 13 hits, of which only 4 penetrated. 4. Very, very strong armor on the T-54. As you see on the screen here on the right, the hull armor is 120 millimeters in the front, but it's got a strong angle to it, so it actually tends to bounce a lot of stuff. And that turret armor, 200 millimeters in the front, and it's kind of rounded. This tank just tends to take a lot of abuse when it's hull down. So yeah, bounced 3,000 damage off the front of my tank, that's just about shy twice my total hit points being blocked by shells to the front of my turret. Traveled almost 2 kilometers, though I expect a lot of that was forward and back in a very small space, since I was dodging forward and back to make it a little bit harder to score hits. And it's actually, with a premium account, it's actually a pretty profitable tank. But even without it, a match like that will still net you a few thousand credits. But I got 25,000 credits and 1,654 actual experience. I hope you all enjoyed watching that replay. Good game and good night.